Today we are dealing with a very special mechanical keyboard that, in my opinion, puts many others to shame in terms of price, performance and overall quality. This is the MONTECH MKey in its darkness color scheme. What makes this keyboard almost unbeatable is, on the one hand, the price of $99 to $120 and the features that come with it, and, on the other hand, the truly impressive quality behind it, which makes even much more expensive models appear bad. The MKey offers us Gateron G Pro 2.0 switches, which are hot-swappable in this case, as well as PBT keycaps and the beloved MDA profile. This keyboard can therefore be seen as the perfect introduction or entry into the world of custom keyboards. RGB lighting is of course also on board, but there are in fact many little details and special features that make the MKey the keyboard it is, and you should know about those before purchasing your next keyboard. While unboxing the MKey, we are right off the bat greeted by a plastic cover put on it, which I intend to use as dust protection for the keyboard. Then we get the keyboard itself, of course, some alternate keycaps, which can significantly improve a keyboard's look for some people, although I usually prefer the standard keycaps. Then there's a 1.9 meter long sleeved USB-C cable, a keycap and switch puller, and last but not least, a rather simple quick guide. Before we dive into the video, I'd like to point out that I don't necessarily know much about keyboards, so you'll hear feedback from a layman, so to speak. The MKey I'm taking a look at today is the full-size version of it, sporting a numpad. For even less money, there is also a TKL version available without a numpad. The MKey can be had in two color variations or schemes, darkness and freedom. You could call them dark and light versions, I guess. The simple yet striking aesthetics appeal to me in an instant, a design language I really like. The whole look actually much more resembles a custom keyboard than a quote off-the-shelf one, if you will. I particularly like the subtle play of colors on certain keycaps. Also, I do like the very neutral and friendly font, especially since I can no longer stand those over-the-top gaming fonts anymore. Thanks to special printing, the letters should in theory last a really long time before showing any signs of use, something the manufacturer specifically likes to emphasize. In my case, I'm obviously dealing with the German key layout of the MKey. The build quality can be considered as very good for the price range. The chassis is made of plastic, but it's really solid. One indication of that probably being the weight of just under 1,600 grams. Only the rotary knob on the top right tends to wobble a bit, but otherwise feels great and responsive. We are talking of an MDA keycap profile, which currently seems to be quite popular among enthusiasts and is preferred over the classic OEM profile. I personally find the angle of respective keys outstanding. The only thing that makes it even better is the fact that the keycaps are made out of high-quality PBT, which is far superior to conventional ABS. At a price of roughly $99, I'm super happy that 100% of the keyboard is covered with such PBT keycaps. The typing feel is always subjective. However, as far as I'm concerned, MONTECH deserves the biggest praise here. The ergonomics are top-notch. Typing on the MKey is extremely comfortable and soft. In my opinion, the exact right typing angle is offered. Since each user is different, the keyboard can be set up at 3 different height levels, or rather angles of 3, 6 or 9 degrees. The MKey makes use of a USB-C connection. The cable is actually detachable, is 1.9 meters long, nicely sleeved, and can be routed through one of the 3 cable channels on the board's bottom. The rubber pads and feet ensure good grip, so the keyboard isn't going anywhere on the desk. In the top right corner is the rotary knob I mentioned a while ago, which has 3 main modes: volume control, zoom in, zoom out, and RGB mode. The latter can be used to switch between those individual RGB modes. However, to actually switch between the 3 main modes, the rotary knob doesn't need to be turned but pressed. The RGB lighting is great, rich colors, although the maximum brightness is below average if you ask me. That's my impression at least. By the way, these are south-facing LEDs, and they offer great compatibility even with differently shaped keycaps. Cherry caps fit without any limitations. But it should be said that the letters on these individual keys are not illuminated. We only get a backlight. The rotary knob can be used to physically cycle through the 18 LED modes. While there also is a software solution for the MKey, it seems rather meager and underdeveloped. But then again, the functionality is there and works as intended. In theory, however, you can get by without software by carefully studying the quick start guide and all those key combinations. It's a bit of a bummer, the rotary knob cannot be reprogrammed like the other keys can, but as long as volume control works, all is well with me. Now once the escape and F1 through 12 keys are pressed combined with the function key, not only do we get access to our usual multimedia functions, but we also have the option of adjusting the LEDs or even disabling them. However, there's no legend printed for any of that on the keys. This, on the other hand, makes for a really clean, tidy appearance. In total, the MKey is made available in 3 different Gateron G Pro 2.0 switch types, namely red, brown, and yellow. Mine is the red version. These are considered linear and require an actuation force of 45 grams. All switches come pre-looped out of the box, and as mentioned a while back, they are hot-swappable. So if you ever become unhappy with your choice of switches or just want to try out something new, you could simply equip the MKey with different switches. For that, MONTECH already includes the keycap and switch puller. The sockets are compatible with both 3 and 5-pin switches. Now this is what the MKey sounds like when typing away on it. I am impressed by the sound of it. As a keyboard layman, I have my difficulties describing it, but it produces a rather muffled, satisfying sound, not one that sounds hollow, rattly, or unpleasant. Smooth, soft, these are the words that first come to mind. The 2 silicone pads, part of the internal structural layout, surely play a big role in that. In any case, it feels as though you're typing on a significantly more expensive keyboard. The stabilizers for the individual keys, including the often problematic spacebar, work really well. Conclusion: the ergonomics are nothing short of amazing. The typing fun for me with the MKey is greater than it has been in a long time. In fact, I would say that the MONTECH MKey is my personal #1 and offers an almost unbeatable price-to-performance ratio. It has a real high-end feel to it, and the design language on here is in a league of its own. Without a doubt, the best keyboard on my desk to date, regardless of price. I can therefore definitely recommend purchasing the MONTECH MKey. Does or did any one of you own the MKey by MONTECH? What are your subjective impressions of it? What do you particularly like about it, and what should be improved? If you enjoyed the video, I'd greatly appreciate you leaving a like, but feel free to also hit the dislike button. With that in mind, thank you all for watching, and until the next one.